Have you ever reached the end of the month and wondered, where did all my money go? Or said to yourself, I thought I had more left. Most of us work hard. But no matter where you live, from the US to Indonesia to Kenya, the money we earn can feel like it disappears. The truth is, without a clear plan, money always finds a way to leave us. In this short guide, you'll learn what a monthly budget really means, why it gives you freedom, not restriction, and how to start, even if your income is small or unstable. What a monthly budget really means. A monthly budget is a tool to track and control how much money you earn and spend over a month. It helps you prioritize spending, save for goals, and avoid financial stress by aligning your expenses with your income. It gives you clarity on where your money goes, helps you live within your means, and supports achieving short or long-term financial goals. Creating a monthly budget is a basic step in effectively managing personal finances. There are several key components in a monthly budget, including 1. Income. 2. Expenses or cost. 3. Saving. 4. Investing. 5. Debt. 6. Emergency fund. Income is the total amount of money you earn or receive within a month. It's the foundation of your budget, as it determines how much you have to allocate toward other components. Types of income. Earned income, wages, salaries, bonuses, or tips from a job. Passive income, rental income, dividends, or royalties. Other sources, side hustles, freelance work, government benefits, or gifts. Role in budgeting. Track all income sources to understand your total cash inflow. Use net income, after taxes and deductions, for budgeting to ensure accuracy. If your income varies, for example freelance work, use an average based on the past 6 to 12 months or budget conservatively based on your lowest expected income. Expenses are the money you spend to cover your needs, wants, and obligations each month. Types of expenses. Fixed expenses, consistent costs like rent/mortgage, utilities, insurance, subscriptions, or loan payments. Variable expenses, costs that fluctuate, such as groceries, transportation, entertainment, or dining out. Irregular expenses, periodic or one-time costs, like car maintenance, gifts, or annual subscriptions. Categorize and track expenses to ensure they don't exceed your income. Prioritize needs, housing, food, over wants, entertainment, luxury items. Use the 50/30/20 rule as a guideline. Allocate 50% of income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. Adjust based on your financial goals. Saving is the portion of your income set aside for future needs or goals, typically held in accessible accounts like savings accounts or certificates of deposit, CDs. Types of saving. Short-term savings, for goals within 1 to 3 years, like a vacation, wedding, or down payment. Long-term savings, for goals further out, like retirement, though often tied to investing. Savings provide a financial cushion and help you achieve goals without relying on debt. Aim to automate savings by setting up regular transfers to a dedicated account. Save at least 10 to 20% of your income, prioritizing an emergency fund first. Include savings as a non-negotiable budget line item, treating it like a bill. Investing involves putting money into assets like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or real estate to grow wealth over time. Types of invest. Retirement accounts, 401k, individual retirement accounts, or Roth individual retirement accounts for long-term growth. Brokerage accounts, for investing in stocks, ETFs, or other assets. Other investments, real estate, business ventures, or alternative assets like cryptocurrency. Investing builds wealth and combats inflation by generating returns over time. It's typically a longer-term strategy compared to saving. Start small with low-cost, diversified investments, for example, index funds. Only invest money you won't need in the short term, and consult a financial advisor if needed. Debt is money you owe, such as credit card balances, student loans, mortgages, or personal loans. Types of debt. High-interest debt, credit cards or payday loans, often greater than 10% interest. Low-interest debt, mortgages or student loans with lower rates. Debt repayments reduce your available income, so prioritize paying off high-interest debt to minimize interest costs. Include minimum payments in your budget and allocate extra funds to accelerate repayment. Use strategies like the debt avalanche, pay off highest interest debt first, or debt snowball, pay off smallest balances first, to manage debt effectively. An emergency fund is a dedicated savings pool for unexpected expenses, like medical bills, car repairs, or job loss. Purpose: it prevents you from relying on credit cards or loans during emergencies, protecting your financial stability. Treat the emergency fund as a priority savings goal. Aim for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses, starting with a smaller goal, for example, $1,000, if you're new to saving. Keep the emergency fund in a high-yield savings account for easy access and modest growth. Replenish it after use and avoid dipping into it for non-emergencies. How these components work together. Balance is key. A healthy budget ensures income covers expenses, debt payments, savings, and investments while maintaining an emergency fund. Prioritization. Start by covering essential expenses and minimum debt payments, then allocate funds to savings, especially an emergency fund, and investments. Use any remaining income for discretionary spending or extra debt repayment. Tracking and adjusting. Regularly track your budget using tools like spreadsheets, apps, or bank statements. Adjust as needed based on changes in income, expenses, or goals. A monthly budget feels like freedom because it's a tool for intention, not deprivation. It lets you spend, save, and live in a way that aligns with your dreams, without the chaos of unplanned finances. Why it feels liberating instead of limiting. 1. Clarity and control. A budget shows exactly where your money is going, eliminating the fear of running out or overspending unknowingly. Instead of worrying about bills or unexpected expenses, you have a clear plan, giving you peace of mind to enjoy your money confidently. 2. Prioritizing what matters. A budget lets you decide what's important, whether it's saving for a vacation, supporting family, or buying a new gadget, rather than letting impulse purchases dictate your spending. You can spend on things you love, like hobbies, travel, by cutting back on less meaningful expenses, like unused subscriptions. 3. Reducing financial stress. Without a budget, uncertainty about bills or savings can cause anxiety. A budget ensures essentials are covered and savings are growing. You're free from the stress of living paycheck to paycheck or scrambling for funds during emergencies. 4. Enabling guilt-free spending. A budget includes room for wants, like entertainment, shopping, so you don't feel deprived. You can spend on fun things within your allocated limits, knowing it won't derail your finances. 5. Achieving goals faster. Budgeting directs money toward your goals, like buying a house, starting a business, or retiring early, rather than letting it slip away on unplanned expenses. You gain the freedom to live the life you envision by making progress toward big dreams. 6. Breaking the cycle of restriction. Budgeting isn't about saying no to everything, it's about saying yes to the right things. Unlike restrictive diets that feel punishing, a budget is flexible and tailored to your lifestyle. You can adjust your budget monthly to fit changing needs, like splurging on a birthday celebration or covering a one-time expense. 7. Empowering choices. A budget shifts you from reactive spending, for example, paying late fees and impulse buys, to proactive decision-making. You're in the driver's seat, choosing how to use your money rather than letting circumstances or habits control it. You don't need a high salary or perfect job to budget. You just need a simple system that adjusts to your situation. Even with a small or unstable income, budgeting gives you control over limited resources, reduces stress, and builds a foundation for stability. It's not about having a lot, it's about making the most of what you have. Over time, small habits like saving $100 per month or cutting from unnecessary expenses can lead to big changes. Assess your income. Small income. If you have a fixed but low income, for example, $100 per month, use that as your baseline. Unstable income. For irregular income, for example, freelance, gig work, or commission-based jobs, calculate your average monthly income based on the past 6 to 12 months. If you're new to the job, use the lowest expected income as a conservative estimate. List and prioritize expenses. Identify essentials, focus on needs first: housing, food, transportation, and basic utilities. These are non-negotiable for survival. Minimize non-essentials, limit spending on wants, like eating out, entertainment, until your income stabilizes. Irregular expenses, estimate annual costs, like vehicle maintenance, insurance, and divide by 12 to include in your monthly budget. Use a flexible budgeting method. Zero-based budget for small income. Assign every dollar of your income to a specific purpose: expenses, savings, debt, until it equals zero. Priority-based budget for unstable income. Create a tiered list of expenses. If income is low, cover only the top priorities. If higher, fund lower priorities. Start small with savings. Even with a small income, aim to save something, even $50 to $100 per month, for emergencies. This builds a buffer for unexpected costs. Unstable income tip: save a higher percentage, 20 to 30%, in good months to cover lean ones. Cut costs creatively. Cook at home, buy in bulk, or shop at local markets for cheaper groceries. Use public transport or carpool to save on fuel. Reduce electricity, unplug devices, use LED bulbs, and data usage. Use Wi-Fi when possible. Swap paid entertainment for free options, like community events or free streaming on YouTube. Ask for discounts on rent or payment plans if income is tight. Track spending religiously. Record every expense, no matter how small, to see where your money goes. Use a free app or a notebook. Build an emergency fund. Aim for a small emergency fund to cover unexpected costs like medical bills or job loss. Start with $25 to $50 per month if income is low. Deposit extra income in good months. Supplement income if possible. Look for small gigs like freelance work, online tutoring, or selling items. Use free resources, for examples, YouTube tutorials, free courses on Coursera, to learn skills that can increase income. Stay flexible and patient. Unstable income. Budget for the worst-case scenario and treat extra income as a bonus for savings or debt repayment. Small income. Accept that progress may be slow. Even small savings add up, and cutting minor expenses builds momentum. A budget gives you control. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aware.